Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I trust that the expo session was very interactive. You got to know much more of our partners. Let me use this opportunity to appreciate KJK.Africa. Thank you so much. Dr. Juice, we truly appreciate that you have been on board with this. And SME 100 Africa, thank you so much for believing that collectively we can act for change and integrate the woman into the marketplace. Thank you so much, Startup Arewa. Thank you so much, CNC. We're truly grateful. EBB Events, thank you so much. KISS, KISS, we are so grateful as well. Phoenix, the media consultant, we are grateful. Thank you so much. Mamza Beauty, we appreciate you coming on board. And finally, as well as Chimera Company, thank you so much for believing in this dream and supporting with every resource, with every time, and everything that you have. Mamza Beauty, we are truly grateful as well. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final session of today's conference. It's been a very long day, however, it's very insightful. There has been some very deep and revealing business secrets. All of us clearly understand now how to manage stress and how to deal with difficult situations. And we know perfectly well more about the 360-degree woman, Kanketsi, our keynote speaker. Now, our very final session, we talk about money. Who doesn't want to know about money? We all do know that there's been a decline in consumption and demand, especially for non-food products. And this is actually a report by the Economist Intelligence people, the makers of the Economist magazine. And they predicted that entrepreneurs in COVID-impacted sectors should be ready to lose 50% to 80% of their turnover. And I know there have been a lot of conversations about the impact of COVID on people's finances, on business finances. And we don't have to overlook this impact. Some people, some school of thought think that in managing money, you don't need to spend more than you can make. Others also suggest that what you can do is that you need to prioritize. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a personality who will delve deeply into how to manage your money, especially during these times. And ladies and gentlemen, our personality, our speaker for money management secrets. This is the part 1. Tomorrow we'll continue with money management secrets part 2. Ladies and gentlemen, is our very own lady Josephine Nwaeze, who is an astute administrator, who has proved her mettle as the first female managing director and CEO of one of the leading indigenous electrical construction companies in Nigeria. She is very, very dynamic and a results-oriented leader. She possesses a strong track record in performance turnaround and high-paced organizations. She has decades, trust me, decades of experience in business and strategic planning. You know, part of strategic planning is actually money management. She's been involved with the Sir Cyprian Ojimadu Nwaeze Foundation, which is SCON, to finance over 100 business startups. And for somebody with that involvement, definitely do have the secret to managing money. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Lady Josephine Nwaeze. Hello, you are welcome.
Thank you, Brett.
Well, thank you very much. It's so great to have you. A lot of people here who are anxious to know what the secrets are to money management. So, Mommy, I would hand over the stage to you.
I'm happy to be here, Brett. I'm privileged and honored to be one of the resource persons on this all-important conference. And I want to also commend the activities of WenA, which cuts across mentorship, capacity building, coaching, and access to fund. Let me congratulate also Her Excellency Hajia Aisha Babangida for being an exemplary visionary leader, a humanitarian par excellence, a perpetual philanthropist whose unending deeds are worthy of emulation. Having said that, my topic is money management secrets. Before I dwell on my topic, I need to explain briefly who a 360-degree woman is. A 360-degree woman represents or depicts completeness. A woman who knows the act of balancing life, career pursuit with personal relationship and family life. She is a woman that can strike a balance, or has the ability to strike a balance between her marriage, her career life, and being a complete and amiable, successful wife, a devoted mother, a career woman, as well as being an inspiration to other women. She is also a woman that is happy and contented with herself, whether she is married or not. I'm saying this because you don't have to be married to become a complete or total woman. She is that woman that enjoys her husband's support, knowing that her husband will not be worried that she will change when she becomes successful, because that trust and drive has been established between them. She's a woman that has raised her kids successfully. She's a woman that her kids are proud of and will want to look up to her as a role model. I remember my children tell me several times that, "Mommy, you have raised the standard so high for us that we are struggling to keep up." So a total woman should be that woman that have the ability to do every part of her life, every activity that surrounds her life. She needs to give attention to it, and she has to do it and do it well. She is also that woman that is guilt-free. Guilt-free in the sense that she never feels guilty about whether she is a good wife or mom, because you have put structures in place to support your ambitions. I personally got married early, and I made all the degrees in my husband's house. The only degree in my father's name is my O-levels. But that did not deter me. I made up my mind that I was going to pursue my career in my husband's house. And everyone knows that it is not easy for any married woman, more so a young family, for the mother to also pursue her career while raising children. So I was raising my kids, and I was going to school, but I made sure I had to put things in place that worked for me. I made sure at every point in time you come to my house, there is food. I know I had to go to lectures from time to time, but I used my weekends to cook and make sure that I stock up the fridge with food. Another character of a 360-degree woman is that she will have the ability to run an efficient home. Your home runs efficiently because you have support structures in place. You are not overwhelmed because you manage your time well and have everything almost under control. Every woman knows that it is not easy to run a family. If you don't manage your time well, you'll be overwhelmed. At one point, you can even go into depression. But a 360-degree woman is that woman that will be able to manage her home well, to ensure that everything is taken good care of. A 360-degree woman is that woman that is really resilient. There are a lot of challenges that comes up in life. If you give up, it means that you will not attain or achieve your goal. For you to be a 360-degree woman, you need to have that attribute of resilient and manage pressure well. Who you are under pressure exactly determines who you are in real life. If you cannot manage pressure, it will not be easy for you to fit into the cap of a 360-degree woman, because life after all, is full of pressures. In summary, a 360-degree woman is a woman who is complete in all dimensions, including social life, physical life, mental life, and her spiritual life. Now I want to dwell on my topic, which is money management and secret. Money is a medium of exchange that comes in form of coins and banknotes. It is highly sought out for both by the rich and the poor. That's why you wonder why the Dangotes of our generation, why the Lumelus of our generation are still looking for money. It is one commodity that nobody can ever have enough. And you can hardly see someone that will come and tell you that I have money now. No matter what you have, you will desire to have more. So management, in my own language, in a layman's language, is a process of dealing or controlling things or people with a motive of achieving set goals. While secret is anything that is not meant to be known or seen by others. Having given the background of who a 360-degree woman is, what money is, and what management is, I am now going to discuss this topic based on some perspectives. The first is social perspective of money. Money is a very scarce and essential commodity. With money in your hand, you can get any commodity or service you like and in whatever quantity you need. There are secrets to wealth or secrets to wealth creation. If you want to be rich, I need to give you some secrets. One is spend less money than you make. If you are making 100,000 in a month, you need to spend less than 100,000. I'll give you an instance. It is always better to spend less. If you buy a bag for 50,000 and you have zero balance inside the bag, it doesn't make sense to me. So it's better you buy a bag of 20,000 naira and then have 30,000 in your bag. So there is always need for you to spend less. You don't spend everything that you have if you want to be a rich and successful person. Secondly, avoid debt and invest your savings wisely. Some people live on credit. Some people live on debt. Even before they collect their salary, the money is already gone. That is a very bad habit. And you cannot be a successful person, a successful business person, if you are living your life like that. Another one is you need to leave money alone. Anyone that you set aside as savings, you need to leave it alone in order for you to grow it. I realize the fact, I appreciate the fact that it is difficult to invest if you don't have or if you don't earn enough money. But the secret is, it doesn't matter how little you have. You need to save a little out of that little you have. However, the most important function of money, which distinguishes it from other goods, is that it serves as a medium of exchange. I have explained the social aspect of or social perspective of money. I'm going into the entrepreneurial perspective of money. Being an entrepreneur means that you have to take care of every aspect of your business. You have to take care of your overhead. You are your own boss. You pay your own salaries. And then there is need for you to form good habits in order for you to become a successful entrepreneur. This means that if you don't organize yourself well, if you do not program yourself well, you are not going to be successful because you are working for yourself and you are paying yourself, you are paying your own salary, you are a boss of your own self. There is serious need for you to cultivate very healthy habits in money savings for you to be a successful entrepreneur. Another secret is growth and investment. You cannot be a successful entrepreneur if you don't grow and if you don't invest. From the sector where I work in the power sector. We are known for electrical construction. That is what news engineering stands for. But today, I can tell you categorically clear that we have diversified into other sectors like real estate, like agri, like manufacturing. This is one secret that every entrepreneur needs to imbibe, the secret of investment. And you can only invest if you have had enough savings. And the following habits are, however, entrepreneurs achieve their goals. You need to adopt a saving mindset. Your savings should be able to help you to take care of needs when things are not going as planned. We have people have my past speakers talk so much about COVID, the effect of COVID on people, because it is something that came suddenly. Nobody prepared for it. So many people were rendered to a beggar status. Many people who were not prepared for COVID because the markets were locked down, businesses were locked down. There were no other source of making money. There were, except people were actually, you just have to live on what you already have. For people who don't or who didn't have any savings, the only option they have was to beg. But for you to be a successful entrepreneur, you are supposed to be frugal. What I mean by that is you have to be prudent in money spending. You can no longer afford to waste like you used to when you were working for other people. You really have to be prudent in spending money. Note that being frugal does not mean that you hate yourself. It only helps you to inculcate a habit of being disciplined financially. I give you one practical experience. During the course of administering the company, one negative experience that I have to live with. We had this project many years back, and there was so much pressure on us to start the project. The client called me and said, see, there is money for this project, and we're encouraging you to go to the bank and collect loan. You need to buy all the materials. You need to buy equipment. It happens to be a very huge contract that we did in consortium with a foreign firm. But my own scope is to, as an indigenous company that is here, is to provide all the materials, all the equipment and everything. So going by the advice of the client, I had to go to bank and borrow a huge sum of money. And then we started work. I didn't put into cognizance that invoices might be delayed. After the work was done and we submitted invoice, we could not collect our money on time. And remember that the loan has started, there had been default charges and everything. By the time we eventually got the money, there was no profit. The bank had already eaten up all the profit. So someone that wants to be successful in business, you need to weigh your options. You need to actually do a lot of planning. You need to do your homework very well to be sure that, yes, whatever you are doing, you are working towards reducing your risk. I couldn't have gone by the advice of the client because it had put me into a very, very, very bad experience. That in that particular year, we reported loss after everything. So someone that wants to be a successful entrepreneur, you should remember that whatever decision you take is your decision. You are accountable to yourself. And because of that, you must not make mistake. You need to be very careful in every decision you take. And then another aspect is futuristic perspective of money. Money is such that it is not just used for now. Money, you need to make arrangements for the use of money in the future. More futuristic perspective talks about keeping money for tomorrow. Many people don't plan for tomorrow. I give you an instance of a man that his wife is pregnant for 9 months. That is 9 months notice. If you have 9 months notice, all it means is that money that will, that your wife will use in the next 9 months. So I find it strange when I hear that, oh, madam, please give me money. My wife is in labor. I don't have money to pay her hospital bills. It doesn't make sense. This is lack of discipline and lack of discipline anyways. So you need to save money for future. You need to cultivate the habit of saving for the future if you want to succeed as an entrepreneur. And then build up emergency funds for the rainy days, just like what is going on now. Most people, if they don't have emergency funds set aside for the rainy days, it will be very difficult for them to survive this period. And then successful entrepreneurs always budget. The usefulness and importance of budgeting in businesses cannot be overemphasized. You don't just spend money as it comes. You need to plan ahead. You need to say, okay, what am I going to do? This project I'm having, how much will it cost me? What is my overhead? Then you are able to know, okay, is there a profit on this project? If in the long run, after all the stress, after doing everything, a project is not worth the while, then you need to go back to the drawing board. Do you continue with the project? I had to meet with my management team just yesterday to discuss a particular project. I noticed that if we have to go on that project, we will have to use our personal money to complete it. So there will be need for us to go back to the client and say, this is the nature of this project. If you're able to review it, we will continue. If you cannot do anything about it, I think we will gladly hand over the project back to you. That is the mind of an entrepreneur. You are in business to make profits and not loss. Even though sometimes you cannot run away from the losses, but you try to avoid the one you can. Then the last perspective I need to handle here is the spiritual perspective. Most people, I had to bring in the spiritual perspective of money because most people, whenever they make money, they become small gods. They now allow their money to control them. They now become different people. You don't talk to them anyhow. By the time you talk to them, they will just ask you, do you know who you are talking to? All they are telling you is that you are no longer in the same level with them. You need to now talk to them with respect because they have made it. They have made it. There's a slang in Igbo language, they will say, Nahebugozu. So that is it. So I have to bring in this for people to realize that the power to make wealth comes from God. Most people think that it's their hard work that gives them success. Have you thought about that woman that fries akara by the roadside, that wakes up 4 a.m. early in the morning to wash her beans, grind it, and then begin to fry and sell to people, passers-by? Is she the richest woman in Nigeria today? Obviously not. So our hard work is not the cause of our success. It could be a factor, but I need to bring in the spiritual factor so that it could be a check to many of us. I appreciate hard work. One of our motto here is that hard work doesn't kill, but you don't allow your success to enter your head such that you will forget that there is a higher power up there. Most people get carried away when they become very successful, attributing their success to their hard work, experience, or wisdom. I need to take us to a Bible verse. I'm a practical Christian. And the word of God in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18 says, "But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that may establish the covenant which he swears unto their fathers, as it is this day." So when you think you have made money, when you think you have become very successful, remember that it is God that gave you the power to make that wealth. Let me also take us to a verse in the Quran, a similar verse in the Quran, because I had to do my research very well. The Holy Quran says in Surah An-Nur, chapter 10, verse 11, "He, the most generous, will enrich your life with all of those bounties, wealth, be it income and children." All of these things and more. In this verse, Allah says that he will send down from heavens abundance of riches, abundance of wealth. These are things that comes from God. So when you have made it in life, you have become successful, don't make yourself unapproachable. Don't think that it is your wisdom, your smartness that made you to succeed. Remember the God factor. Do you realize that money has wings and can disappear? I have seen so many companies that we heard their names years back. Today, they are nowhere to be found. They have disappeared. So when you are successful, don't celebrate yourself. Don't think that, oh, you are smarter than your competitors. That's why you have made it. Remember that everything you are, whatever you have made in life, it is through the grace of God. And I want to read Timothy chapter 1, verse 6 to 7, which says that godly contentment is great gain. We brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it. Some people are so rich, and they can't be content. That is a problem. No matter what level of richness you are, no matter who you are, how rich you are, at every point of your life, be content with what God has given you. If you are not content, it will put you into a lot of problems. You always have to be grateful to God for what he has done in your life. I have a similar verse in the Quran, Surah Baqarah 2, verse 156. It says, "Verily, we belong to Allah, and verily to him do we return." If we realize that in spite of everything, when the day comes, the money will not save you, because death is an appointment, and death is the way of all the earth. So whoever his time comes, goes. If you have this at the back of your mind, it will put you on check. It will help you to avoid certain things most business people do. And Quran chapter 55, Surah Rahman, verse 26, chapter 26, verse 30 says, "Everything on earth will eventually be extinct, but will abide forever the face of the Lord, full of majesty, bounty, and honor." Everything you can see, no matter how beautiful it is, that beautiful woman, those beautiful children, that handsome boy, everything is temporal, so long as you are under this planet. But the only person that is everlasting to everlasting is the Almighty God. In summary, I want to say that money is good. Your level of enjoyment determines how much money you have. It is only the rich people that can hire private jets. I personally, I don't like flying it. Even if I have the money, I don't like private jets because they are small, and I have phobia for flying. But some people can fly to show, even when they don't like it, they just want to show, I have the money to fly. I use the PJ today, you know, just to show that they can afford it. That's fine. I don't have an issue with that. Money is good. And when you have it, you enjoy a lot of good things of this world. Can even fly private jet to Dubai, or to go on holiday and everything. Money is very good. It is very important aspect of life. And I totally agree that money can facilitate to grow your careers and to be financially independent. When you have it, you are independent of yourself. You don't need to go and be begging people, give me this, give me that. At this point, I want to remind us, just by the way, one of the jokes my husband cracks in those days. He says that akunesho bike. What it literally means is, when you have money, you are bold. When you have money, when you're walking on the street, you are not afraid. Akunesho bike, your mind is strong. So money is good. However, it doesn't mean that you are successful in life. That you have all the money in the world doesn't mean that you are successful in life. There are other factors that contribute to success, and such includes job satisfaction. When you are doing a job that you are happy with, there's a kind of joy and peace it gives you. Job satisfaction is something that nothing can replace. But when you are doing something you don't like it, you don't enjoy it. So there are other factors that contribute to success. One is job satisfaction. Another one is peace of mind. You know, the Bible says, my peace I give unto you. If you do anything and you have lost your peace of mind, you are gone. Anything that will take away the peace, your peace in life, you are gone. So do not do that business that will take away your peace. Peace is one virtue that when you have it, you are blessed. If you are at peace at yourself and you go back home and put your head on the floor, or on your pillow, you will sleep off. And then that's because you're at peace. You know, the Bible said that there is no peace for the wicked. The same thing when you are not at peace. When you are not at peace, your mind cannot be settled and you cannot be happy. And then healthy relationship is another attribute of success. When you have a healthy relationship, you are married to that man that gives you peace at home. You are married to that woman that gives you peace at home. It is better for a man to sleep on top of the roof than to stay in the house with a nagging wife. The same way, it is also better for a woman to sleep on the street than to stay in the same house with a man that will not allow her to sleep. So we have been seeing and hearing about so many domestic violence these days. One of the reasons is that relationship is not healthy. If you are enjoying your healthy relationship, it's an attribute of success. We should also know that perseverance is the most important thing for success. If you want to be successful, understand that life is not built with roses. It's not full of roses. Challenges will come, but your ability to swim, your ability to handle the challenge, your ability to be able to maneuver those challenges and still be who you are defines you. On this note, I want to say thank you to everyone. Finally, to wrap up all that I have said in one sentence, money management involves savings. It involves investments. It involves family, in your society, and in your nation. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Lady Josephine Nwaeze. Akonosio Imbeike. Did I get a pronunciation right? Hello, can you hear me? All right, so these are some very deep statements, definitely touching on our topic as well. A 360-degree woman.
I hope they heard that I said.
Spend less money than you can make, avoid debt, growth and investment, cultivate the habit of saving. Now, I like particularly how she connected moral values to capacity building, moral values to money saving discipline. And I particularly appreciate you so much. Thank you very much, Lady Josephine Nwaeze. We truly appreciate it. At this point in time, I only have one question for you just before you leave. Do you need... Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so I think we are losing her. So I was going to ask her a question about whether there's a need for you to develop some financial skills in order to understand how to manage your money, or sometimes you just use the application of common sense. So that's what I wanted to. I hope that she gets back. Unfortunately, we are losing her due to the connectivity problems, but it's fine. I'm sure anytime she returns, she would answer that question. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Lady Josephine Nwaeze, for leading us on the Money Management Secrets, Part 1. This brings us to the end of today's session